Cool. There we are. Back in working order. Okay. Honestly, not entirely sure what we're doing today. Let's just put up Photoshop for now. There we go. Yeah, last time we made this card, I think it turned out pretty well. It's got some cool subtlety to it, but it's also, you know, it's just simple. Yeah, so that's done. I don't need to do that anymore. Part of me was thinking just like working on my devlogs, but it feels like a little bit weird. But I really do want to try to get it out before Wednesday of next week, because I'm going to be traveling for a bit, for like a week, and then when I get back, then my dad's going to help me renovate my house a bit, so I'm going to be really busy, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it out, you know, I'm going to be able to get it out in time, so that's my worry. Been kind of working on it all day, though, so it's just like, I don't know. I guess I should let my Discord server know that we're streaming. There we go. Done. Oh, hello. Sorry, I didn't see you there. How you doing today? Doing well, and you? Good. Trying to figure out actually what I'm doing today on stream. I got this card done last time, and I've got some like devlogs to work on and stuff, but and obviously the game itself, but I'd really like to get my devlog done because I have I'm be traveling for a bit, and so I won't have as much time to work on it. I kind of want to get something else out, but I just don't know if I can really work on it on stream. It's not really like an ideal thing to do. So I might try to do some item design. So that's like one of the next things I need to do for getting a what's it called? Getting like a playtestable version ready for the game. So can hear. Okay, the music definitely needs to be quieter. Wait, is my mic picking on? My mic is picking up my my music, so it is definitely too loud. Sorry, might be bad audio for a second here. Apologies. Yeah, just my audio levels are looking a little weird. I'm just trying to... Let me just test something. Yeah. Okay, test. Might be a little quieter now, but there we go. Yeah, my my thing was picking up my microphone was picking up my music, so you'd be hearing it twice. So there we go. Anyway, let's actually do something. I guess I have other cards designed too, but let's just do some ability design. And you'll have to forgive me if my brain doesn't work. Because writing is not my strong suit. Especially not when I'm tired. But we're gonna give it a whirl. Let's see here. There we go. Sorry, trying to pull up this stuff so we can actually work on it. It's all good. I'll be honest, I found your project with that one video I commented on about 7 Cs and midpoint healing. So I'm not 100% caught up. No worries. Actually, yeah, I remembered seeing your comment. Yeah, no, I mean, the deck builder is a good one the deck builder video is a good one to watch if you're kind of just looking to see what the game is about. But I mean, I guess I can explain it to you real quick because not like I'm doing anything else. Essentially, you know, it's a deck builder tabletop RPG. Obviously, a lot of it's still a work in progress. I'm trying to get a playtestable version ready, but essentially, it's a deck builder tabletop role-playing game that focuses on you know, more role-play aspect of the game. It's sci-fi. What else is there about Soul? Let's see. But yeah, it's been a, you know, ongoing project for like the past 9 years now. I kind of, you know, restarted the game 3 times, but yeah, there's a lot to it, but right now I kind of want to actually work on the items, I think, is what I'm going to do right now. I'll need to, oops, wrong thing. There we go. I'm using Google Sheets to do this because I have a, there's a program called Dexterous online. It's free, which is awesome. Well, there's paid versions, but this is the site here, and you can actually use spreadsheets to actually make cards, which is really, really cool. You can make really quick changes to stuff. These are some of my ability cards here, and then I'm working on the item ones. Obviously, I don't have anything going on right now, but how about you? You do any sort of game design, or are you more into tabletop stuff, or how do you find me? Let's see, didn't I started a list. It doesn't really have much of anything. Well, let's just do it this way. We're gonna need, oh god, these are all my old categories. I gotta figure out I have to figure out what actual items I want to make. I think my spreadsheet's all set up now. Yeah. See the roleplay aspect with just this card you have up alone, but I get making games being tough. I've tried making games of my own using the GameCraft website, and also dabbled in video games. Yeah, no, it's a lot, because actually I'll show you, because I find this this is my I basically made a flow chart of like all my inner working systems. So that's this. And so this kind of depicts like all the stuff that works together and that kind of thing. So you get your abilities are here, which play into races and sub races and classes and abilities, and you know, all the different mechanics. And that's what it is currently. It's this probably is even outdated, honestly, but I need to kind of get like a visual map of what it looked like. But this is the my thought process on the whole thing. But yeah, I've got the yeah, the card you're looking at, those are the nanites, which are actually my next video is going to be on that. But you know, nano programs, which are essentially spells. You know, nanites, these basically can be applied to spells and create different effects, which I think is pretty cool. Yeah. There's also items, which actually can also play into nanites. Still trying to work everything out, but I'm kind of designing as I go a little bit. I have a good broad idea, but right, yes, this helps me at least keep you know, some semblance of order, even if I don't have like a complete, you know, design doc. Because I know like a lot of this is gonna change, right? Like there's a lot of theory. You know, even my last video, like I threw out, it's like, oh yeah, I'm, you know, thinking about this health system, but who knows if it's gonna work at all, right? There's plenty of comments pointing out like different things, whether, you know, it was the complexity of the design and that kind of stuff, and all that like I know going into it, but it's also, you know, it's worth a shot to try it out. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna grab some more water real quick. I'll be right back. 2 seconds. All right, I'm back. Okay. All right, this is nothing. That's nothing. Okay. All right. So, what sort of items do we need? I still need to figure out what sort of equipment system I'm going with. Whether I'm going with like the. I guess I don't know if it necessarily matters, but I guess these subtypes will be changed depending. Well, yeah, I guess they'll have to have an item slot. I didn't even think about that somehow. Just. I got its type and subtype, but it's gonna need I don't know if necessarily subtypes. Oh man. I guess I'll need like a keep some things generic till you know what slots it'll go after. Yeah, it's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, honestly, like, no matter what, you'll have, like, you know, a helmet. Helmet, right? I can't spell, so, be kind to me. Let's see, we got helmets, and I shouldn't change that. You know, like, body armor. Like, and so I'm designing stuff for the knight too. At least that's my goal, like, to start off with that. So, you know, I want to get like, I'm trying to think how many items to start off with. I believe I have 8 slots, so like, maybe just give a variety. What, like 3 slots, eat like 24 items, 25 items maybe, just to start for like a minimum viable product kind of deal. I think that might be reasonable. So I mean, we'll probably want you know, a knife. Sword. I probably want to have guns, even though you know, it's a knight class. It's not really doesn't necessarily make sense. Well, I guess shield. Probably could run consumables too, but yeah, health item, light, medium, heavy, generic armor slot, and for now, and then range melee, held items. Yeah, actually consumables. That's a good point though. Yeah, that sounds pretty solid. items, yeah. So, just a small variety. So like because my goal for the minimum viable product, I think I need at least classes, and classes will have their abilities. One of the generic templates I put out, probably the ones without the customizable weapons to start, because that's just like a bonus feature, I feel like. And then just a little bit of a variety for items. There's already a good variety for the let me pull this up for you so you can see it too. Also for myself, but let's see. Classes. This is all super secret. It's not really that secret, but let me just open it here first. There we go. Here's the knight. So these are all the knight abilities. I've got 20, I think it's 25. It looks like 27, but basic actions are one of them, and then the top title card. So yeah, 25 knight abilities, to choose from. So obviously, there's going to be different builds. You can easily get different builds out of them. So I'm not really worried about choice there. Like, people are going to be able to choose from that. So then just have some items, like a variety of items, so people, just have something to choose from, can make a build. All right, so helmet, body armor, sword, knife, shield, probably guns. Let's see. I guess like a pistol. Do that. Enter, not tab. Rifle. That's like the main type of stuff. There's obviously like different types of rifles and stuff, especially in a sci-fi game. We got like laser weapons and rail guns and all that kind of stuff, but rifle, heavy weapons. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll do an assortment of existing categories, but for now, just have them as a rifle, shotgun, maybe energy variant of each of those. Yeah, I mean, I have, so I'll show you this too. I've got, so I had an old version of the game, and it wasn't great. It was fine. It was just, it ended up being like very much like a tactical battle simulator, which wasn't really what I was going for. I really wanted more, focus on role play, and it just ended up being really, really crunchy. But I have existing 234 items. So I definitely have stuff to pull from, but the way I structure items, I kind of want to be different. I want them to be more, like, you look at this one, it's just like, +1 armor. It just feels, and maybe that's what I do, but like, I think I want to consider it a bit and not just be like, okay, this is just, a stat boost. It's nice when they have, some sort of flavor to them. I said they have like flavor text, which I might end up adding for things, just because it makes it more interesting. But Yeah, no, just having a small variety of ranged weapons for now is probably good. I agree. I don't want this just after. I move this. Is that gonna break everything? No. Okay. Oh, right. These need to be. Let's switch it to common and then drag that all the way down and then. I know. With that, there we go. Get rid of reference. I can't remember what game it was, but one has its the armor have its armor value, but also an effect as a speed value. Not sure how you could control combat field or how you want to control combat field, but might be able to do something similar. Yeah, that could be interesting. You know, yeah, like initiative speed kind of deal, or number of actions or something like that. Yeah, currently combat's just mostly turn order with biggest difference is there's like more more action types, or not more action types, more what am I trying to say? I have more actions than most existing games, but where was I going with that? Turn order is normal. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure how to do armor. I might start with weapons and then kind of figure that out, because I have a few different thoughts, because like with the slot-based system, armor could just, because it could do one of a few things. One, it could protect the specific slot, right? You could have armor essentially being like only protecting, you know, your. I should pull this up too. Let me open up my oh, not that. It's gonna be under my game. Let's open this. No. Okay, so I have my two variants on this, right? God, is not centered, huh? All right. Anyway, but yeah, like if health is on, you know, say you have a card on your like a armor piece on your body, right? You get shot in the utility or arm or something like that. I don't know whether that armor should protect your head and arms and legs, or if it should only protect that slot, which, you know, does depend on where you know, depending on how damage works and how you control or have lack of control of getting hit in each slot, but hard to say. I feel like armor ends up being such a min-max things for most games. It can end up being not very interesting. Hello, also, yes, hello. Yeah, that's the thing, like, armor, a lot of time, yeah, ends up something where it's like, you have to wear armor instead of, you know, whatever cool damagey thing you have, or like a lot of time, yeah, you are forced to wear armor over other things in order to obviously, like, to find the balance, right? It isn't necessarily a bad thing, but also sometimes it can feel unfun because you're using it instead of like the cool item you have that lets you deal more damage or something. Obviously, like glass cannoning or whatever, but Souls likes come to mind. Yeah, I'm thinking of Remnant, honestly. I mean, they obviously made it so armor doesn't really matter as much, but only that just the weight value. Which is, I guess, kind of to YZ's point there. Where it's speed, right? Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to add a few more things to this now that I'm thinking about it, because there needs to be a slot, like a spot where the item slots in, and then a spot where I'm probably gonna do like a like flavor text, but I don't know, still unsure. All right, let's talk theory here for a second, because I need to decide on how my weapons work. I have this. I did some testing with numbers and stuff. I think, yeah, that's what I ended up with. You are going to use your finesse deals damage. So like your weapon has an innate damage, and then your stat plays into that. I think is probably the best way to do it, because if it's purely one stat, then the weapons aren't good on their own, and you can't use them no matter what. Like if it was just the first one, if like a rifle only did your stat damage, well, I guess no matter what, you're at like a D4. So I guess it can deal damage no matter what, but kind of like the weapon having a baked in damage plus your modifier, which is, you know, pretty standard, but yeah, let's go with that for now. We'll see how that looks. So rifle, right description is this. You ready for this? Ready for this sick formula we made? Well, bam, look at that. Isn't it beautiful? Holy poop, yeah, that's right. That is right. So let's just say, yeah, this is a rifle. Do you want ammo to be in play for ranged weapons? Also might be, want to be using range as a melee thing. Or wait, what? Also might want a using range. Oh, like meleeing with a weapon. I don't think I want ammo, honestly. Yeah, like pistol whipping, right? Yeah, or like a bayonet or something. I probably will have base rules for attacking with weapons that aren't kind of like D&D's rules on like improvised weapons, unless something says otherwise. I think like if it has a bayonet on it, maybe it will deal extra melee damage, but that would be like an attachment thing that I'd want if I end up, you know, doing that, going with that idea. I don't really know if I don't necessarily want ammo. I had it in the old game, but it wasn't so much as like trying to keep track of your ammo, like how many shots you have, but you know, the basically provided, you know, like passive benefits and stuff, or active benefits, or both, I guess. It was an active that applied a passive, typically. So that's probably how I'd do it if I did it again, because I don't know, like when I'm playing like D&D or something, like I never keep track of ammo. I just don't find it fun. I get it if you're like doing like a longer adventure. Typically mine are like mission based, so you'll go out, you'll do your thing and come back. So I think I could see people keeping track of ammo, and maybe that's something people are looking for, but I just find it kind of like a lot extraneous information. Maybe, I don't know. I get the survival aspect, but I think it's just one more thing to keep track of. I already have a lot going on in my game. And so actually we could use discretion here. A gun would be loud. Let's call this like was a ballistic rifle. Ballistic, right? Isn't that how you... I don't know. I get it. Ammo really only is fun for survival focus, yeah. I just wanted to point of getting a feel for your combat. Sounds like you want it to be more fast and fluid rather than semi. Yeah. Yes, definitely, yeah. It's I'm trying to yes, definitely fast and fluid. I would it's so hard to do because combat, like I have a video on it, my story versus mechanics, but or whatever I ended up calling it, but it's really hard because I really want a roleplay focused game, but combat is very mechanics heavy. So the second you go into that, it ends up being once you start getting into mechanics, it pulls away from that narrative. So it's really hard to blend the two because they're kind of what's the word? You know, counter opposed. You can't have one and the other at the same time. If you're using the mechanics, you're not role playing. So I'm trying to blend that as best I can, but like there's a certain point where the game has to be a game. I'm not even claiming to, you know, be the best at that either. I'm still learning. So But like one sort of role play element I have is I have like discretion, so there's like a stealth mechanic, essentially. But it can be used for like other things too, like, um, you know, like you have like whether it's I need to come up with better names for these, but there's like whether the weapon's loud or quiet or discreet or flashy, whether it like causes a smell or is, you know, leaves a mess. Like if you stab someone with a knife, like it's discreet, right? Like you're not going to see the knife, but it could cause a lot of blood, which would be messy. So, it's kind of got that from Monster of the Week a little bit, but yeah, my brain wants me to like make, you know, a gun more roleplay focused, but you know, it's it's hard to do because, you know, it's innately not. It's very not roleplay focused to just begin with. Any like most items. Obviously, you can have items like D&D's Bag of Holding is a good example, but when if you with, you know, an equipment based system, it's kind of harder to have those be relevant, I guess. You can still have them in like your utility slot and stuff like that, but so for quick, I want to, or I like your roll to hit with attribute focus as a bonus to hit. Roll damage roll plus mod, then roll to hit. Maybe called hits with a disadvantage. Wait, maybe make called hits with a disadvantage. So I'm trying to understand what you're saying. My brain is moving real slow. I like your. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, Attack with this. So you roll where you hit your enemy, but if you want to aim for the head, you take. Right, yes. Sorry. Okay, sorry. Brain was not working there. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I think that there's a disadvantage might be better than like spending concentration or something like that. Yeah, I also have dice levels, so it could be for a lower dice level as well. So the way it works is I think there's other mechanics like this. I want to say whatever the Firefly game was based off of. There's an overarching system, and I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, you start with a D4 as like your bottom stat, and as your stats go up, it goes up in dice rather than in like a modifier. So so you roll with your stats are basically dice. So something like, you know, someone who's really bad at something will be a D4. Someone who's really good at something will roll a D12. So honestly, I mean, I think that's just like the item there. I don't think I need to. And cost and weight don't really mean anything to me right now, but yeah, disadvantage is also faster though, so there's a chance that that's maybe a better option. There's a lot of mechanics to work with, so I just got to figure out which one is the best to work with. I mean, so I guess for example, pistol would be like something similar to this, but like a still finesse, but it'd probably be like a D4. Honestly, I probably should just keep it simple for now. Build something out, and if I want to change it, then it works. If you want to keep the concentration spend, then you could spend that to avoid the disadvantage. That's smart. Yeah, I like that. That is a good idea. I actually like that a lot. Yeah. Yes. I like that. No, I'm just sorry. I'm just picturing like, because I was thinking about someone said that in the comments mentioned doing blocking being the recipient of the damage's choice, like what body part you actually wanted hit, which I thought was a cool idea because it kind of I'm all for sort of more interactive defensive gameplay because it adds more to the, a lot of times you just have someone just sitting around and be like, oh yeah, all right, they're on their phone while the other person's like taking their turn. But if you're taking damage and you're like, hey, where do you want to get hit with this giant attack or whatever, then they're gonna have to make a sort of conscious decision, which I think is kind of cool. So I'm thinking about using that. I'm not 100% certain yet, but like I kind of think it's a cool idea, and then you don't have to worry about like rolling a dice or something like that. But then I'm thinking like what you just said about a disadvantage, and I could imagine someone getting attacked, and then them deciding they want a specific body part to block with a specific body part, and then the other person's like, block with your arm, right? And then the other, the attacker could, spend a concentration to try to attack the target's head, and then they could spend another concentration to try to block, like the other. I don't know, a lot of going back and forth, but I could see like spending concentration back and forth, but in order to see who gets the last the last laugh there, but whoever gets attacked or to attack where they want to attack. But I lost the script midway when I was trying to talk there. Not script, but you know what I mean. But I could see that being interesting interactive gameplay, even though I was just rambling, so don't mind me. So there's a few things with armor. That is fun. I like that. Lets the player choose where they get hit. Maybe if they're the defender type, they can impose disadvantage to the attacker for defending an ally. Yeah. Yeah, actually, especially the knight. The knight is, their whole focus is actually ally defense. They're kind of like the fighter, the protection fighter in D&D, but like just that. That's their whole like kit basically. Yeah, I think I need to start writing this stuff down. So yeah, I think I want to do. I like that disadvantage. Let's see, disadvantage. For what were you saying? Disadvantage to hit specific slot. And they can spend con to negate disadvantage. Probably could be typing this out and make it look better, but whatever, here we are. And then just like pick slot to be attacked. Okay, there we go. Just wanted to have that written down. As I hit a bunch of dots on my keyboard. Yeah, I just think like that's just a cool. And then like then that can make armor. So actually what I was getting at before is armor on a slot, right? If you have armor on your body and you get this is not my music anymore. Let's say you have armor on your body, right? When you get attacked, where do you how do you block that attack? So does your armor absorb that damage specifically, or does armor negate damage? Typically, like what it used to do is in my old versions of the game, it's just flat damage reduction. You get hit for 4 damage, you have 1 armor, you take 3 damage, right? And it can never go below 1. So if you have 10 armor and you get hit for 3 damage, you still get hit for 1 damage. With this, your guns, you don't necessarily want to have an armor value, right? That's kind of weird. However, yeah, like, is that what you're saying? Shield could be fun. It had a chance to ricochet and attack back at the enemy. Yeah, okay, so that's... let me finish this train of thought, and I'll come back to that. So if you're holding a shield and you get to... or, like, someone chooses to attack you, and you're obviously going to want people to hit the slots with armor on it. If the armor only protects that slot. The armor could technically protect... just individual slots, technically. So, like, yeah, say you have, there we go. Say you have, like, +1 armor, right? As I draw this with a mouse instead of my whatever. Say you have +1 armor, so does that only affect this slot? Or does it affect every single slot, right? So that's kind of what I have to try to figure out. There's a cool sort of gameplay there if it's just the individual slot, because obviously you're gonna want to take all your body shots first, right? Because you have the armor there. But once this is dead, then you have to start picking like other slots that you don't need, right? And that comes in it's a cool thing where you have obviously normally you have guns that don't have any armor, but if you had like a hand shield here, right, like a buckler or something, you could wear that on here, and then so you'd want to be taking shots to this slot as well. So all right, let me let's see. I like DT. There's also a new Critical Role game where armor has hits before it needs to be repaired. So like 3 hits before it acts as a DT of 0. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so there's just stuff to think about there for sure. Yeah, ricocheting could be cool as well. That would be I do have, and there's a lot to think about, man. There's like the terminology too, like, because I have shields and like the shield is like a thing you would hold, like, right, like a buckler, right? But I also have like force fields or energy shields or whatever you want to call them. So getting that terminology down too is going to be a little annoying. Anyway, so I got to decide whether the armor, yeah, and maybe armor that breaks. Although I don't know if I necessarily need a breakable armor mechanic, because once the health on the slot goes to 0, you're not going to be able to use that armor anyway. So I'm not sure. Shields could have more armor hits and only reduce to a DT of 1 when spent. That works too. Didn't think about it like that. Yeah, because I don't want your, you know, your item breaking and then your slot breaking too. But yeah, because that feels maybe too punishing if it breaks and then also the slot breaks. But you know, similar concept for sure. Anyway, let's go back to looking at items here. You know, honestly, I think I'm gonna have it so that the slot itself is just the it's only broken until you fix it. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Gotcha. Yeah, kind of like a like a Diablo-like system or something like that. Yeah, I need to watch Critical Role, but there's just so much of it. It's just way too much to watch or listen to. I tried, but watched some of the beginning, and I've watched the show, but there is a lot to watch. All right, I think for now I'm gonna go with armor affects just the specific slot and not the entire body. I think I'm gonna start with that idea and see how that feels. But I get how it could be annoying too. And yes, there's a lot. Dimension 20 is easier to get into. Yeah, I watch I haven't listened to like much D&D podcasts in honestly quite a while now. But I've watched a lot of the Adventure Zone. That was like my main one. Yeah, I really like theirs because theirs feels a lot more to me like I'm listening to a story. I mean, once you get past like the first arc or two, it feels like I'm listening to a story rather than people playing D&D. Which somehow there's a difference. There's a lot of table talk in a lot of the other ones. So not that it's like a bad thing. And maybe I just, you know, need to like get used to it or whatever, but it's maybe a me thing. But I don't know, it was just my like initial feeling on it. It's like hearing a lot of table talk and that kind of stuff breaks my immersion a little bit. It's just a lot of people, I guess. It's like even like running my own D&D campaigns, I try to keep it to like 3 people, maybe 4 absolute maximum when I'm DMing. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. Like if weapons, I was thinking weapons wouldn't necessarily, like the pistol and rifle or whatever, wouldn't act as armor specifically for a a hand slot, but like maybe like holding a shield would, right? Because like that's basically just hand armor, right? So I thought that could be kind of cool. I don't know, what do you think? You think that's because like I guess you could have like weapons I could add armor stats to weapons, but I'm not entirely certain. because obviously, like, you know, having like a gun in your hands probably, you know, better defensive thing than, you know, not having anything in your hand. But I also want to decide if swords should also use finesse, but probably. That could be interesting. Yeah, let swords do armor. Yeah, as a reason to pick it over. Ooh, that's something to think about. Man. Audio is something. Is my audio bad? Let swords be finesse or strength depending on style. That's also what I was thinking. That you could hear me thinking. I think. I was thinking for attack or both for both attack and damage. Or yeah, is my audio broken, Rod? I don't know if I'm like quiet. I could probably turn up my gain if I'm quiet. No, you're good. Okay, cool. Sorry. Yeah, do I want this to be finesse and strength for both damage and attack, or must be good on my end? Okay, cool. Just want to make sure. Well, welcome to the stream. We're working on designing items along with like 12 other systems, I guess. I kind of feel like strength, finesse just to hit, and then strength for damage. I guess it could be argued, you know, finesse is part of the damage, but for now, we'll just do this. We're just making stuff up anyway, so. Knife. That's a short sword. What if I add? What happens if I? Oops, not what I want to do. Good question. It also raises, should shields roll strength have extra armor, bonus to blocking, essentially? That could be cool. Yeah, so let's look at a shield for a second, because a shield, technically I have shields as melee weapons right now. I don't know if that, I guess that makes sense, but like, so actually so there's again, more mechanics. So when someone's attacked, I have an idea, and again, I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but I have an idea for when you're getting attacked, you actually roll to block as well. And it's a roll contest whenever someone does a roll. So you know, say you attack with your strength with your sword, and someone blocking usually will either roll willpower to you know, endure the attack, or roll agility to avoid the attack. And actually, now that we're getting into this, I think I've found a good thing with this, because if you choose to endure an attack, you get to pick what slot it is, right? I think that would be cool. And then if you choose to you know, so if you're enduring the attack, you're getting hit basically maybe regardless, but you're reducing the amount of damage taken. Whereas if you avoid an attack, then maybe the attacker gets to choose where they hit you. I think that could be potentially a cool option. But the advantage is if you avoid it, you don't get to get hit at all. So I think that could actually be a cool trade-off and let those systems kind of play well together. Spartans did use shields as weapons. Have shields give a level up to block dice roll. Yeah, I was thinking that too. Yeah. Honestly, I was thinking of giving him something like maybe honestly giving them some damage and then additionally giving them, oh god, didn't mean to do that. Don't know how to use XL apparently. Control, there we go. And then like giving them, and maybe this is just strength, not finesse. So like if you want to attack with your shield, you can. It could give, we're just gonna type out potentials here. Plus, let's say +1 armor. I can always change this. And then, God, I keep doing that. Control enter. There we go. And then maybe +1 will on enduring attacks, maybe. Something like that. Let's see. Oh, I see more people. Hello, Bob. What's up? We are actually finally using the spreadsheet that I made. So yeah, the cool thing here too is now we can actually, so now we got some stats in here. I can actually show you how Dexterous works real quick. We're showing off Dexterous as per usual. Oh. That is weird. Hold on. Why is it doing that? Hold on. 1 second. Why is it only mono? Test? No. Test? No? No, that's not it. Alright, potentially loud noise. Sorry. Sorry about that. No. Honestly, I don't know if it is OBS because I'm pretty sure. Well, actually, maybe it is. How's that? Is that better? should be at least dual channel now. I don't know if it's still quiet. Is it louder as well? Probably, I would assume, it being dual channel. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I unplugged my mic the other day and it got... Okay, is it still quiet, Bob? Yeah, I unplugged my mic. I'll show you guys. So I had to record my my newest devlog, and this was my recording setup. That's my closet. But yeah, I'm imagining I'm a little quiet still. Is that true? Should I? No, you're good, dude. No worries. Is that better? Is that? I'm probably double volume. All right. Why is it so quiet though? Yeah, I undid my it shouldn't be that on. Give me a second to fix this. Sorry, y'all. I'm going to reset mic gain settings, maybe. That's what I'm thinking. Sounds. That's what I wanted. Okay, ready for this to be loud. How's that? I'm probably peaking now. Hello, test. Test? Hello. How's this? Is it too loud? Because I can imagine that being too loud, seeing as it's peaking. Test. I'm gonna go until I am no longer in the red, which looks like it's about there. Is that maybe about right? Maybe right there? There? Hello, test. Okay, thank y'all. Oop, of course, as I peek it. There we go. Do I have my filters on still? Hopefully I think I have a cutoff. Yeah, okay, cool. So in case if it does peak, it doesn't like completely break everything. All right, yeah, sorry about that. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I did this little recording setup in my closet, and I think when I unplugged everything, it must have broke everything. Anyway, yeah, so now that I have this stuff on my spreadsheet, I can do this. And now I have my cards all ready to go. Wait, is armor not in my... Oh, it's probably because I didn't... Oh, might not be in my, It is in... Oh, I know it is in there. Why is it not doing it? ARM. Am I being dyslexic? No. Don't know why it's not working. Actually, let me try something, because this might be why it's broken. Let's see. That's weird. So this formula is slightly broken after all. Sad. Still doesn't completely work better than my maybe it's just because there's no. That's weird. Oh, it might not like yeah, I don't think it likes spaces like that. We'll come back to that later, though. That'll work for now. But yeah, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, so yeah, now I can actually just have cards. Of course, these are all kind of crazy, but we have some cool ones now. We already have. We'll have to like format these slightly better, but now I don't know if armor necessarily will give a bonus to like willpower. I guess it probably should. Because the way I see, if I add something in here, is it going to completely break everything? No. Let's do a few here. Okay, so here's my thoughts. So here's my thoughts on types of armor. The simplest we can do... Yeah, shield should be beefier than regular armor. Yeah, I think that's probably true. So we got, like, maybe heavy armor, right? Heavy armor, and this is just me spitballing here, I'm not entirely certain, but say, like, plus, I don't know, 3 armor. Oh, it does not like that. Oh, I forgot putting plus in the first column is, we'll just say 3 armor. It's fine. It doesn't need to be a plus. So yeah, we'll say heavy armor, something like that, right? Light armor, I don't know, let's just call it body armor, right? So we can have one that instead does something like, what I say for the shield? Well, so actually plus 1, I guess it'd be like increase, you know, will level by 1 on enduring attacks or something like that, right? So that would allow you to evade better, but not necessarily. So this is maybe more, or not evade better, but like tank better. And then you'd have something like cloth armor, which is going to be same deal as this, except like AGL on evading. Evade. Am I spelling right? Yeah. Yes? Yeah. So like that'd be the difference there. So there's like the 3 types of things you could do with armor, I think. Armor, well, I guess you could also do shields, which is another mechanic, but like energy shields, you could have, let's call it power armor, right? Even though that's not, doesn't totally make sense, but you could do like plus, I don't know, 10, can't do that, 10 shield, SLD? Yeah. So those are like the types of armor we could do, right? Where it's either armor, willpower, evade, or, you know, endure, evade, or shield. Shield being like temporary hit points. Which might be a pain to track now with the new armor system, or like the new health system. So I might get rid of shields in that sort of form. Or maybe shields could protect all slots, like they'll always take damage first. Because that could be kind of cool, because you're not going to get hit with a, you know, when you have shields. Adds more complexity, but honestly, it's kind of exciting. It's kind of cool to see like all the systems starting to work together, because I haven't actually designed items yet. Yeah, both the current set. Okay, yeah. You like both the current setup and letting shields protect all. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So like just temporary hit points that protect you, and then eventually, you know, like a regen of, I don't know, 2. So every turn you gain 2 temporary health points back. The old way they worked is if it goes to 0, they stop working until you repair them. Kind of like what you were talking about earlier about, you know, items breaking, essentially. So it'd be a similar concept. I don't know if that's necessary. I think it's kind of a cool thing if it just keeps regenerating no matter what, because then it forces people to like target you as a tank, although it might be too powerful. I don't know. My only worry with having like so many mechanics like this is like the more you have to explain to people outside of the cards, the more complex it is. Because like if all the information is just on the cards, then you don't have to explain anything to anyone. You can just pick up the game and play. But I don't know. At some point, you know, you have to have cards not necessarily you know, work that way. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. Like 1 regen instead. Oh, every other turn. Or I see what you're saying. Yeah, 2 every other. Okay. No, I'd rather do it every turn. I think that's easier to keep track of. Although, I mean, like, I mean, because, like, looking at damage now, no matter what, pretty much any weapon is you're gonna be taking at least 2 damage, because all weapons currently are a D4 plus your strength modifier, which is going to be another, D4, D6, D8, D10, 12, Now helmets, I mean, assuming are just going to be more armor. It's going to be the same but different. I don't even necessarily... I mean... yeah, no, I was thinking that too. I was like, yeah, because 2 is basically... It's like the whole like rule of rolling like 2d6s. It's like you're always rolling... you're technically always rolling a 2. Lowest number you can roll, unless there are items that either only use, they don't have a modifier, or you don't use your modifier, or they don't have an innate strength or weakness. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know what happened with my my sounds. This is interesting because my microphone's all of a sudden like picking up my oh, you know what? It might be... Maybe I can do this. I don't know. Weird. I'm definitely gonna have to mess with my microphone settings again. Anyway, let's see what you're saying. Could be silly to have helmets prevent from falling objects. Jeez, now it's loud. What the heck is going on with my... Yeah, I'm gonna have to mess with my audio settings after this, but okay. Falling objects. Yeah, I mean, that could make sense. Trying to think to how, if there's any I mean, yeah, that could be like a descriptive thing, or like have an advantage against like things falling, but I think for the most part, it just probably makes sense if it's just more armor, like on your head. But then that's like, well, I guess that makes sense, because a tank would just have armor on their head, and like say you have I'm trying to think of like, and you could have like cowls or something like that, or like a hood for a Vade version. I don't know. Guess you could have like offensive versions or like you know, like a targeting scope or something for an eye, like a, you know, over your eye or something, like a, that could be like an offensive option where it's like, you know, increases your range, like a range finder, right? Increases the, you know, range damage or something like that. Or yes. Okay. Yeah. Well, +1, perhaps how welder's mask, prevent blinding as an option. Yeah. Preventing negative status effects is actually a great one. Blinding or, I mean, any of them could have, or any armor piece could have preventing certain, you know, negative status effects for sure. Yeah, one on the head definitely makes sense for blinding. I do like that one though. So let's add a few. We're just gonna do this like we're spitballing here because it doesn't really have to be specific. Literally just gonna copy you here. Oop, an elder's mask. No, a welder's mask. Could be an elder's mask. I guess there's armor. Yeah. What else? Prevents prevents blind. Could just be as simple as that, I think. Let's call his helmet just be similar thing, but like 2 armor maybe. Wait, is 1 armor? I guess, yeah, 1 armor could still be worth. I was like, is 1 armor actually worth anything? Because if you're always taking 2 damage, but yeah, then you'd just be taking 1 damage. Is 2 armor? 2 armor is almost the same as 1 damage, or 1 armor though. Although I can actually have armor not only negate to 1 now. I used to have it because it was over your total health, and I thought that was. Because, like, you're not only going to be dealing 2 damage. Even if armor's up to, like, 4 damage. I think keeping low armor amounts in armor is probably fine. I don't know. Just thoughts. Not entirely sure. Let's call this, like, a hood. And we can make this, like, a cloak kind of armor. And maybe just have this be the same as like as cloth armor. And let's have like just hard hat for falling thing, and then a space helmet for prevent suffocation. I'm thinking about that too. Ooh, man, the suffocation thing, because it's like, oh man, because part of me is like trying to decide whether it's like you're always ready for space in a space world, right? Like that should be like something you should probably be prepared for, right? And like if you're on a spaceship, if you're gonna get sucked into space, you should probably have something to breathe. But because then you'd have to like always be wearing a spacesuit, right? And I don't want to necessarily take up slots wearing a spacesuit if you are always expecting that. But it's also very cool to have this like ominous, you know, at any moment you can be sucked outside of the ship and die. Granted, even if you did have a spacesuit, that's not going to protect you for forever. So, that is cool. I'm going to save the idea. I'm going to keep it for now, and I'm going to, because I'm trying to do just base stuff right now. So I'm just going to hold off on that one. Welder's mask is cool because we can. That's more applicable to multiple situations. Obviously, it's space helmet. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna hold out because it's just like such a. I think just for these starting items, probably should. I just don't want people to have to pick space helmet over, you know, other options. I think. I don't know. I'll write it down. We'll see. What are some like offensive options? Like what are ways, like things you could like I said, like a rangefinder? Is there? Is rangefinder one word? Two words? Rangefinder. One, okay, or two. It could be like this could be like increase like finesse, or like by one. Ooh, thermal night vision goggles. Yeah. That could be cool. Yeah, plus like that seems like a conditional one, like plus one to hit in like dark areas or something. Do I have that in my old item system? I thought I had something similar. Armor. Probably be in where's accessories. I guess, yeah, we got like Cloak of Invisibility too. Let's use invisibility or something like that. That's more like wares, but still. Engineering arm. These are kind of specific. Yeah, night vision. Thermal goggles. Yeah, I guess great minds think alike, as they say. I think that's well, is there any like one that would work well with like melee characters? Well, I guess finesse is technically, if you increase finesse. Sorry about spamming chat. You got my creative brain running on full tilt. No, I appreciate it because my creative brain is running on like half tilt to a third tilt. So you're helping me think, and I actually very much appreciate it. Is there something you, I'm trying to think if there's like a strength related thing for a helmet, but I think I might just pass on that for now. because that's four helmet options already, so I think that's pretty decent. We could make variants on like each of these armors, but I think we're just gonna leave it as is for now. We got a knife, a sword, and a shield. Do we want to do like a blunt weapon too? I gotta figure out how I want dual wielding to work. I used to have dual wielding. Weight was like a individual number, and then you could be combat computer or analyzer for strength would probably be a spiked helm or something, but that should help a ton. Yeah. I could even see like spiked armor doing like damage back to the user. Yeah, combat analyzer. That could be cool. Just thinking if just trying to think through some of these options. Yeah, well, let's do the let's do a combat analyzer or something like that. Let's do combat computer or analyzer. Let's do combat analyzer. And we'll do and that will be just call armor. Should this be armor? Maybe accessory. And we'll say this is strength by 1 for now. Oh, I didn't man. I didn't mean to do that, but here we are. No, armor. Ooh, crowbar, yeah. Get a sledgehammer for blonde, 2-hand, and a baton for a single. Ah, myself, you have returned. I can finally hear myself again. I believe a hammer would be good as a blunt single. Yeah. So well, here's the thing. I got to figure out how dual wielding works. Because last time in my old game, basically weight was just a single number, right? Like weight was like 1, right? Or 2, something like that, right? And then for dual wielding, the weight system eventually became obsolete, but for dual wielding, it still works. Like I didn't have encumbrance or anything, but dual wielding was like a pistol was 1, a rifle was like, you know, a rifle was like 3, and then what you would do is you take you could basically dual wield any weapon, but at a cost, right? So. What it was you'd take the 2/8 of both items, add it together, and you'd subtract that number from your roll. Which worked really well, but I don't really have single digit modifiers anymore. So it could lower your dice level potentially by holding another weapon. Dual wield, roll first attack, standard die, second attack, a lower level die. Maybe? I was thinking that through. Well, actually, you know what? Because my worry there was like, why would it ever make sense to not dual wield? That's usually the the question, right? It's like, why, if you make dual wielding too good, everyone will always have two weapons. But I almost think, honestly, if you dual wield, here's the thing: a player has like 3 actions per turn, essentially. They get 3 concentration. Abilities can cost more than 1 concentration, potentially, depending on what the ability is. But the question is, option 1 is we do. There is no dual wielding, right? Like there is dual wielding. You can have 2 weapons, right? You can have 2 weapons. You can attack, and you can just spend your attack points on which weapon you want to use, right? Or your action points, right? So having 2 weapons equipped is for variety. All the other weapons are, you can only have 2 equipped, right? So it's not like. It's for utility purposes, right? It kind of gets weird because then you can't distinguish whether someone's like holding 2 rifles in their hands, and like a rifle might have to be, I don't know, I'm getting a little distracted here, but option 1, yeah, is you just don't have dual wielding. You don't have like, you make 2 attacks, right? You can just use your concentration, your action points for either weapon A or weapon B. Option 2 would be, you do what you're basically saying, and you can use, I would say you could use both weapons but get disadvantage for both, because that seems maybe a better, because like otherwise there's no reason to not fire off an additional shot for if it's cost the same amount, right? So yeah, potentially dual wielding is there, disadvantage for both, or potentially using that weight system where it subtracts your roll, or is there 2-handed weapons? Because then there's all the thing about dual wield versus 2-handed, which opinion is better, etc. Right? Which option? Yeah, that's a good question, because I don't know how 2-handed items would work. This is my. Well, it's either going to be this or this is the inventory equipped system. But either way, you've got a right and left hand, and the card will go into that slot. So if it's a 2-handed item, I don't know how. I don't know how that would end up working. Because obviously you have 1 card, right? You have 1 card taking up 1 slot. So the other slot either just is like forced to be blank, which I guess is fine, right? I mean, that's how a lot of other games do it. It's not like you have to have an additional card. Maybe you just even have like this slot is full card. So that's a potential. Might have to honestly think on that, because I kind of do like dual wielding as an option. It adds more like interest to combat. Yeah, I guess if you don't have dual wielding, then knives are kind of worthless, right? Like, because the point of like, you know, a smaller weapon, I mean, knives can be more discreet or something like that, sure, but if you don't have like lighter weapons able to be dual wielded, there's almost no point, because you just want to pick the weapon with the strongest attack, unless there's, you know, some other advantage or disadvantage. But minus some value for hit, the second weapon, and don't do the mod bonus for sight. Yeah, like similar to D&D or something like that. Like, imagine one-handed snipers. How would that work? Yeah, true, very true. That was the nice part about my old system, is that you could dual wield snipers theoretically, but because like a sniper rifle is like, because I was using a D20 system in my old one. I'm not in this one, but you know, say you dual wielded two sniper rifles and they weigh 6 each, so that's a -12 to your roll, right? Out of a D20. You know, you're very likely to not hit, but technically possible, right? If you really wanted to. I kind of like that kind of thing, where it's like, this is probably a stupid idea, but maybe in some world it works. So, I mean, maybe I still use a system like that. I don't know. Maybe I could, the way I would see doing it is keep weights low, right? And then what you do is you take the weights of each item, you add them together, and then you subtract that from your dice level. So if you have like, you know, a D6 as your thing, and you have two, well, not D6, let's say, which I guess would mean that you'd have to have a certain level to dual wield. Because like, say you have, yeah, so you take, let's say 2 knives, right? Or let's say 2 pistols, because we already got it in here. You have 2 pistols. They're both a weight of 1. You add that weight together, it's 2. And you subtract 2 from your dice level, right? I would say that if it goes below a negative dice level, which isn't really a thing, I would say you just can't dual wield. But if you have like a D8 in strength, you'd just be doing a 2D4s to attack, or not strength, but finesse in this case. Well, that sounds pretty weak, because dice levels are pretty powerful. But then you could use something like a, you know, a rangefinder or whatever to buff it. I don't know. Or maybe you take the highest number and subtract that from your dice level. That might be better. Because then if you have... Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think what I'm going to do is, honestly, I'm just going to... Here's what I think. I'm going to stick with my old weight system, actually. Because weights kind of doesn't do anything anyway, besides, like, flavor. I could say it's like, oh, this is like 1,000 pounds. So it's like, oh, you try to lift it, it's really heavy. But they're items. Like, you should be able to wear them anyway. So... Although for wears, it doesn't really matter. I don't know what I'm doing with those. But what I'm going to say is... you're going to take the weight of the highest item and you subtract that from your roll. So if you're wielding a It kind of works. I don't know. We'll go with it for now. But that makes a shield. Nah, we're just going to ignore it. We'll think about it later. I'm going to have to contemplate that one. Maybe something like weight divided by 2 plus 1. When dual, so the sniper weighs 3. It goes to 4 when dual, so it's not too much. Yeah. I just don't want to, like, I mean, it's obviously not that complicated of math, but, like, I kind of don't even want to, I don't want to have to do that, like, on the fly. It's starting to get away from, like, simple. Actually, no, you just, no, okay, wait, no, I'm thinking of this, thinking this in a silly way, because I could just make knives have a penalty of 0, right? So dual wielding knives doesn't do any penalty, whereas, you know, a short sword might. And maybe like carrying a shield would be 0 as well. So if you want to dual wield 2 short sword, there's a slight whatever, but if you want a sword and shield, you really shouldn't be getting that much of a disadvantage on dual wielding. Maybe you'll get 1. I don't know. That's my current thought. We'll think about that. Don't want to dwell on it, but for now, we'll just call it that and go from there. All right, let's do. What time is it? Almost been streaming for 2 hours. What else we got? What else do we want? A blunt weapon. What do we say? Hammer. I don't know what a blunt weapon does versus a versus a you know, a pointy weapon, stabby, but I mean, you could have something like inflicting bleed versus inflicting like a stun or something, but I feel like that's kind of powerful just built into the weapon, unless it's a you know, more powerful weapon. I'll have to think about that. I could see, yeah, like doing like a like dislocate or something, or maybe it does additional. Well, I guess blunt weapons are supposed to be better against armor, right? So maybe we do like you could just lower the amount, like do that, and then do like plus like 1d4 against. Did I do that wrong? Sorry, you said something. Damage plus enemy armor value. That's actually maybe cooler. Blunt does stun based on strength, and cuts do more bleed against based on agility. That could be cool. I just feel like I might want to wait for... Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, they have to have an innate lower damage. Yeah, the status effects, I'm like wondering if I just wait to use on like higher quality weapons, not like base weapons. Although, especially for playtesting right now, because because we're only playtesting one class. It's currently just the knight class, and if I don't have any medics, that's just gonna get like real dicey, I think. So maybe I have to, you know, just, I don't know. These are lower tier weapons anyway. Bleed and stun feel like if you have X weapon plus Y class feature, it happens. Yeah. Yeah, probably. Yeah, like a bleed based like ability attack or something. Or maybe, I mean, alternatively, just have them have like additional components for additional, like, you know, for like an additional action, you can inflict, you know, bleed or stun or something. Trying to think. I'm trying to decide if what I want to do, but I think my decision making is going down the drain. Ooh, yeah, I like the extra heavy attack. That's what makes some of the balance between two-hand and dual wield. Okay. You're thinking like you can't use a heavy attack if you're dual wielding? That could be interesting. Exactly, okay. I like it. I'm just contemplating it for a second and seeing if that I'm just contemplating and trying to like think if that interferes with any other of these any of these systems. I don't think it does. I think that actually works. Of course, I mean that means every item has to have an attack and a heavy attack, or not every one, but like, you know, most of them. And so how would that work then? So like, knives probably wouldn't have a heavy attack, right? Well, I guess they could. I guess they still could. Because you could use a single knife for like a killing blow attack or something, which is something it used to have. Knives used to always have a passive of, because like, you know, in old sword combat, you'd, you know, start fighting, you'd take out your knife and jab the person's eyes out or under their armpit or whatever, and it would like kill if they're on like a certain percent health, but or not percent, but like certain stamina level or whatever. But That's besides the point. Okay, so some heavy weapons would have their attack considered either heavy or light, and then would affect dual wield. Yeah. Yeah, like basically if you're wielding a weapon with this and it has a heavy attack, you can't use it unless you're using two hands. Yeah. And that's kind of like, I mean, I guess that's almost a little bit similar to like how they how D&D does it, right? Like you have the versatile weapons, which are like in between, and like it's like this is a two-handed weapon, a one-handed weapon, and then it's a lot more for design, but I think I might be okay with it because either you get to dish out more damage or you get to like have an additional effect, which feels more more roleplay focused, I feel like. But like would dual wielding still take 2 concentration? Like say I want to hit with, well, no, that would make sense. Right, I guess it would just still take 1, right? It's just so it's more damage per attack versus more lighter attacks, or not even necessarily more damage, but a more impactful attack versus 2 less impactful ones, right? Like, because it could be you deal damage plus a bleed, or you deal damage plus a stun versus like 2 lighter attacks. Yeah, like you're saying, like have the more impactful thing be on the double damage. Or not double, sorry, I'm reading double, or no, I didn't my brain's fried, I'm sorry guys. So it'd be something like this. I feel like a hammer probably wouldn't use finesse either, right? So strength to deal damage to hit, deal, I don't know, let's say 1d4 plus strength, or something like light attack versus like heavy attack would be like the same thing. I don't want to say stun, but like and dislocate. I don't, this is just a stats effect that I'm making up right now. I actually kind of talked about it in the video, but item slot. Something like that, maybe? Hey, what are you doing? My cat's eating a cardboard box. Is it yummy or? All right. So yeah, maybe something like that. That's kind of a cool idea. I'll write that one down too, just light versus heavy attacks. honest, I probably don't even necessarily need to include all this. Like a heavy attack is always the light attack plus, you know, dislocate item slot or whatever. So stun blocks an enemy turn or at least action, and dislocate prevents an item equipped to a slot from working, whereas bleed is a dot and to health after a shield regens. Sorry, stun blocks an enemy turn or at least action. Right, okay, gotcha. I see what you're saying. Like, stun could just, yeah, damage over time. Yeah, no, I gotcha. Let's see. Yeah, I guess stun could just, like, remove an action from a target. That's really powerful, though. I'd rather have like a dislocate or something, allowing them to still perform other actions. Someone did bring up in my comment on my video though, it's like, what happens if the person just like loses access to both their hands? Like, then they're kind of screwed. Although the fact that we decided on the attacker takes the damage where they want it, you're typically not going to have your hands damaged unless you're evading stuff. But yeah, yeah, bleed could be interesting. Yeah, after you stun if you spend all 3 actions on an attack and is only available for 2 hands. Yeah, well, I think probably the way to do it is stuns would be, because there's 2 things, because you've got your slots, right? And then you also have your deck. So you'll be holding a set of cards in your hand. Those will be your abilities. You play your abilities, and your items you can use. Basically use a basic action to play your to use your equipped items, essentially. So I think something like a stun would probably be an ability rather than a weapon, unless it's like a legendary weapon or something like that. And then you could just have the ability be more powerful, and that's fine, because yeah, you're like you said, using like 3 actions on attack. Like, I think I have something like that for like the the DJ class. But yes, there is a DJ class. It's my futuristic bard, basically. But yeah, I think maybe well, I mean, I just feel like depriving people of, I mean, obviously generally you're going to be fighting like you know, NPCs, but I always feel like depriving someone of actions is usually like, it's unfun to play against. But yeah, I mean maybe I had to think about that, because yeah, I mean, losing your ability to use an item also is going to be pretty unfun potentially, but Lucia from Overwatch confirmed. Pretty much. Let's see. Let me pull up the Let me pull up the yeah, my old version of the game had I believe it was 21 classes. I'm dialing that back a bit. Eventually I'm okay with getting up to there, but they all only had like 5 abilities, and now I'm like 25 abilities per class. So here this is the reworked 2.0 classes. So I got Marine, Pirate, oh wait. I got Marine, Pirate, Heavy Weapons, Gunslinger, Knight, Nomad, Fencer, Explorer, Assassin, Marksman, Bulwark, Keeper, Drunk, Medic, Doctor, Mad Scientist, Hunter, Robotics Engineer, Nanomancer, Computer Specialist, Magnetist, Mentalist, DJ, Merchant, Thief, Mixologist, and that's it. Hey, stop it. Hey, what are you doing? Get back here. Come say hi to the stream. No? Okay. Yeah, it was kind of insane. Oh, utility slot item prevent shield regen. Just this might not be 2.0. I think I had more classes in 1.0 and I thinned them down a little bit. I know some like came and went back. Sorry. Oh, and a utility item that prevents shield regen just popped into the head. Yes, that would be good. 100%. Like an EMP or something, right? And now rollerblades or something similar for legs. That could be cool. I could see that. Like increasing movement or something. Just like a movement speed item. Oh, just 26. Gotcha. I see what you're saying now. That was a joke. I didn't pick it up. I told you my brain's running on one brain cell right now. I'm trying to see, was that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Oh yeah, no, I definitely crunched down the classes slightly because I had originally had like a system where there was like good and bad classes, where it was like you had your like outlaw classes and your like marine classes, like your the main like oh god, brain's not working. The main sort of governing faction is like the UCS, United Confederation of Soul, and they had like a, you know, I had faction based classes, but which was cool, but yeah, an alignment chart basically. Yeah, so yeah, it was like different factions and stuff like that, and everything, classes were based on factions, which was a cool concept, but I ended up just having like a lot of sort of overlap, right? Like I had in a let's see, let's just pull it up because my brain's starting to be less productive now, so I may as well just show you some old stuff and talk to you about my design decisions here. Do I have 1.0 stuff? Some of the stuff is real old. Classes, here it is. So yeah, there's a Marine. Actually, this might not even be the oldest one. No, this isn't. This is actually before when I updated it. Hold on. Maybe the other one was actually older. Hold on. I got you guys. I have too many files. Is it this one? No. This? Okay, I think it was this. No, actually, I don't think I have it anymore. But there was essentially, yeah, there was like infantry, which was like the good soldier, and then there was like, actually maybe it was bounty hunter was supposed to be like the evil one, but then it was like, or mercenary. Was there a mercenary here? I don't know, but yeah, there was like mercenary, and it just ended up getting like, there was a lot of shared abilities between the two, and it just ended up being kind of pointless, really. Makes a little tricky for homebrew environments doing fashion. Yes, I agree. Yeah, it felt too restricting for like, you know, people's own worlds, because I really do want this to be like roleplay focused. So I'd rather it be, you know, not pigeonhole you into like a faction. I'm a bit curious how you want to do your character creation. Yeah, I'll talk about that. Let's see. So the items are probably, well, let's just start with abilities. Well, how far back do I start? Let's go to my chart. Okay, so one idea I have for item slots. This is obviously this is our base item slot, right? This is going to be the base, probably the quote unquote human item slot. But I think maybe with different races, like aliens and stuff, the configuration of the item slots might be different. And I'm thinking that's what the distinguishing factor between different races is the slots. Maybe, you know, if an alien has 2 heads, they might have 2 head slots. I think that could be kind of cool. Or maybe if they have 4 arms, they could have 4 items. Obviously that gets tricky, but you know, that's an option potentially. That's my thought on races. So you pick a race, so you're gonna pick like what your board is. Then you go into abilities. So your abilities, we'll go into Dexterous here. You've got, you know, actually I have maybe a cooler way to do this. Hold on, give me half a second here. Let me, oh God, my computer's freaking out. Let me open Steam here for a second. I have a cooler way to do this. I'll show you what it looks like. Where is Tabletop Simulator? Loud noise incoming, potentially. Weird splat noise. Please hold. There we go. Wasn't that loud. It used to be so much louder. I'm glad it's not, but full display. Here we go. Maybe this. I need to close some of these programs on. This probably wasn't worth doing just to show you how quickly it works, but okay. Why is this so laggy? I might not be able to stream this. Hello? Why is it so laggy? I love Tabletop Simulator, but God, is it freaking slow sometimes. Okay, there we go. Perfect. There we are. Yeah, I just have so much loaded right now. Okay, cool. Look at that. It's all working now. I'm gonna delete all these and then start over here. So yeah, you'll have something like this. Obviously, I'm not sure about the whole thing, but yeah, oh, you say something about quad wielding, yeah. Especially being how tricky how dual wielding, just imagine quad wielding, yeah, exactly ridiculous. And yeah, the cool part is I don't know how worth it was bringing this in here, but it just seemed fun, so I'm doing it. I think of these, yeah. So yeah, when it comes to abilities, you've got each ability. Ooh, there we go. It's big. I should probably would have been better to keep these laid out. There's a few different types of abilities. There are well, there's ability types and there's ability different like. Oh, black screen for us. I am so sorry. There we go. Better. Cool. Yeah, so there's a few different things. So like when you're, I'm just gonna move that out of the way. When you're when you pick your abilities for your character, I had these actually laid out before, but they weren't in any sort of order. We're getting close. There we go. Just delete these counters. We don't need them right now. Get out of here. There we go. Okay. This is the current format. Subject to change, obviously, because as you can tell, a lot of this is theoretical. You'll pick a class. Your class will be, you'll have a certain number of experience points. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work yet, but yeah, you'll have a certain number of experience points. When you get your a class, like you buy a class, you're going to get a signature ability. These are like, so one thing I guess I haven't mentioned in my videos yet is there's going to be, along with all your item slots, there's going to be a let's see if I can sig. Oh, I undid everything. There's gonna be an item slot, and it's for, we're just gonna say sig. Those are gonna be signature abilities, and then down at the bottom there's gonna be like 4 slots for passives. I'm just gonna say pass. Pass. So you're gonna have 4 slots for passives. Signature abilities are, I guess the best way to think of them is like a D&D cantrip almost. It's going to be an ability that you can use sort of all the time. Not quite all the time. I'll explain in a second. Actually, let's explain basic actions first. You're gonna get about like 6 basic actions in your hand, maybe more. I can just read the card. This is basically, or you can perform a basic action, includes but is not limited to the following: making an attack against target using one of your equipped or consumable items, or interacting with environment with the intent to cause harm to a target. So you'll get a bunch of those. Those basically allow you to use all your equipped items, and they're also going to allow you to use one of your signature abilities. Signature abilities are kind of class defining, is kind of the goal of them. Chivalry is like the most classic knight ability from my game. It's basically you jump to an ally's aid and then you protect them. You block damage from them or for them. So you'd equip that to your signature ability slot, and then anytime you draw a basic action in your hand, you can. I got you. Here's the cat. If you're cat people. She's being a tyrant. She wants her TREATS. Yeah. Hello. Okay. I will let you free. Anyway. So yes, you'll have, some of your basic actions. Then, different abilities are going to cost. Yeah, she's very cute. She has the biggest eyes. I learned how to spell. Yeah, right. I found her in my car's engine, so that was fun. But yeah, each ability is gonna be. You pick from your abilities. Each one of them are gonna have an XP value or like a cost essentially. And then so passives, you can either equip. So like, say I want to, equip some of these passives to my passive slots. Obviously this is in no particular order, but I equip those to my passive slots. And then you can also, if you want to put a passive in your hand, you can. When you draw that, you can play the card for free, and then the passive works for just that round. So you can have, passives that are active all the time, or you can have passives in your deck, and when you play them, they're active for a turn. Of course, they don't really do anything on their own, so you kind of have to couple them with other cards. So they could just add deck below when you draw your cards. And then you can pick like any number of abilities. Let's just say I grab, I don't know, 6. Or whatever, however many that is. And then you take your whole thing. Oop, put that in another thing. And then on your turn, you'll have your deck, you'll shuffle it, and then you draw, 6 cards or whatever. I don't know what the exact number is yet, but I drew mostly abilities. But the interesting thing is, I mentioned it in my deck builder video, but like part of the idea is I don't want any people to always use their equipped weapon. I have like an example, basically, like someone, you'll have people in like D&D or something where they only use their legendary magic sword, right? They're just like, it's like, oh, what do you want to do? Oh, I want to do a basic attack with my magic sword. Okay, cool. All right, it's your 12th action, fighter. What do you want to do? Oh, I want to attack with my magic sword again. It's like, okay, cool. They just keep performing the same action over and over again. Cool part is you can only do that if you have basic actions. So there are free actions that you can do that don't require a card. Like say, you have a friend dangling off an edge, you can still save them or something like that. As long as you're doing roleplay actions are free, and like talking to someone, right? Or something that wouldn't merit a full concentration. And then you also have brain work. You also have non-combat actions like like saving your ally or something like that. For some reason, like 5 and 7 better for holding my hand. When you get the chance, try seeing how many are comfortable in your hand, but I like the RNG But I like the RNG of actions with this. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what number. I mean, 5 might be better. Honestly, even less. I honestly think 5 probably would be better. Just like less actions. I do have my my Pokemon cards. Not that I play Pokemon, or collect it even, but I just happen to have them. But yeah, I guess yeah, like an odd number is nicer because then there's a middle card. Like as far as symmetry goes, whereas if you have 6 cards, it's harder to hold. It's harder to hold an even number, right? Not harder, but 5 does, yeah, feel better. I get that. I can agree with that. But yeah, basically, once you have all this, you would, get your item cards. These are all my like old cards. Get your item cards, you equip those to your slots. Guided rocket launcher. Good. You equip all your cards. I'm not exactly sure how consumables are going to work yet. Part of my thought is that you can actually just put them in your deck. Maybe have a general basic action deck everyone draws 1 card from and have 4 from their deck. Just an idea floating in my head. I sort of have that actually. I have trait cards. They're based on your stats. They're all passives though. Although I could potentially make them actives as well. I haven't totally decided on that yet, but there are traits which are, they're based on your stats and they're like sort of a general sort of deck. But yeah, it might end up making sense to like just have like a general actions card that you can spend like low amounts of XP on or something like that. I have thought of that before. I kept toying with it, but I decided to not because I just want to create the classes first. If I end up like making like a bunch of like abilities and I'm starting to see like overlap between classes, I might end up just having like a general ability deck. I think that could end up being what I end up doing, but yeah, this is the general idea. It's like the board looks so cluttered, but it's partly because I just have cards scattered everywhere. But yeah, I think that's how I want the. Oh, what do you say? I guess I was more thinking like everyone can play a basic action if they really don't like what they drew, but that seems cool too. Okay, yeah, well, there's also options for that as well. I think I'm gonna have it so you can spend concentration to like refresh cards or maybe refresh your deck or something like that. I haven't totally decided on that yet, but yeah, I might have a consumables be a separate deck too. I don't know. There's like I have a lot of feature creep, honestly. And I know I'm gonna have to like at some point just like destroy my game and like just remove a bunch of the fluff, but we'll see. But these basic actions, why have a card to represent it? Because I actually only want people to be able to perform basic actions so many times. So basic meaning equipped items, essentially. Because spend an action to reshuffle sounds cleaner. Yeah, basically. The basic actions are there because I don't want people to get hung up on the like best best action cycle, right? A lot of time in a game, you'll have someone repeat the same action over and over and over and over and over again because it's their best action they can do. And I really want to avoid that because I feel like the gameplay gets stale. So having basic actions, you can only use your equip item if you have a basic action available. Don't have the wizard spam fireball, basically. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, or like a better example, I guess, is the fighter uses sword every time, right? I mean, obviously, the fighter doesn't have as many options in something like D&D. They don't have like spells, but yeah, I mean, like it allows you to have diversity in actions, forced diversity in actions, I guess, but because like there's a lot of game systems where I find that they just like you get to like a meta like set of strategies and you just keep repeating that strategy because it's the best one and not because it's the most interesting thing for your character to do. So this limits your number of actions. There's also like the whole thing where it's like you repeat your the wizard looking through his spell book, right? You see all like having a certain amount of drawn cards. They're not just looking through their 12,000 spells. Like you have these spells to look through. I do have a system where you spend a concentration where you can actually search through your deck and you can pick what card you want. Of course, that spends an action. So like if you want like a cool thing. And then I also have on top of that something called tentatively called limit breaking, and you can spend your health in order to gain an action back. So you can there's ways to like help add back player agency, but I don't want it to be like innately like you can always do whatever you want because I think sometimes that gets stale. But yeah, that is how cards are set up. Any questions? Does this make the game lag? It does. Well, yeah, it does. Okay. I think we're done here. At least done in tabletop. Oh, there's my background. All right, I think we're gonna, let's see. Passives, I heard. Players will transform the NPCs and enemies into functional computer. I can see it already. Sorry, I'm not sure I understand. My brain. I told you my brain's done at this point. Passives, I heard. Players will transform the NPCs and the enemies into functional computer. I can see it already. My brain's just not working. I'm not understanding. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna import these in here, and we can see our progress. And I think I'm gonna be done because I've already been almost streaming for 3 hours. So, I don't know why it's doing that. It's because there's the dot there. Yeah. Okay. I'm just and I was working on my devlog all day. I was just sitting at this computer literally all day, and my brain my brain starts to shut down after a while. And it's like almost 10 here, so but yeah, let's look at our cards. Look at these. Look at them. That's pretty boring, so I might have to make that more interesting looking, give it some text, but yeah, look at that. Look at these cards. Yeah, I mean, we came up with a lot of cool ideas, though, or, like, solidified some. Yeah, like the disadvantage to hit a specific slot, spending concentration to negate that disadvantage, picking a slot to be attacked, and then, like, light versus heavy attacks. Also, I want the, you know, endure versus evade is gonna be you get to pick what slot versus not. Cool. All right, y'all, thanks for joining me. If you're curious to come back, or if you're planning on coming and seeing me again, I do stream every Tuesday and Thursday around 7 EST. So basically the same time I did today, both Tuesday and Thursday. So let me try something real quick. I want to, apparently you can, like, do a raid sort of thing on YouTube, although I'm not really going to raid anyone. I just want to see if it's literally not working, so I might not actually do that. Dashboard? No. Never mind, it's literally not working, so we're not going to do that. If you want to watch a video of mine, I was going to point toward that. Watch the deck builder one, because that is pretty much exactly what I talk about a lot of that here. It's a pretty good video. It seems to not get as many views for some reason, but anyway. Cool. I appreciate you guys coming, helping me think, being my brain cells for me, and yeah, I guess I will see you. I guess actually, yeah, I'll probably, I might not even stream the next few weeks. Crap. Because yeah, Tuesday or Wednesday I've got a flight at like 6 a.m. so I might not might not be streaming, but I'll post to my Discord server potentially, or on whatever if I'm not. So anyway, thanks y'all for joining me. I'll see ya. Appreciate it.